do 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 do. This is Dina's vlog. Do 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 do. Tools and apps coming at ya. Hey guys, my name is Dina Marie Rodriguez, and I'm a full-time hand lettering artist living in Portland, Oregon. And today's vlog is all about all the different kinds of tools and apps I use on a daily basis in order to run a very successful hand lettering business. Are you guys ready? Let's do this. Yeah! I've been running my freelance hand lettering business since 2014, and there have been a lot of ups and downs over the years, but something that's really helped are all these different kinds of applications and digital assets that I use in order to speed up my process so that way I can create more work in less time. Because let's face it, as a freelance artist, you're not just drawing all day. You have to be your own accountant, your own salesperson, you have to be a social media marketer, and you need to know how to sell yourself so that way you can keep getting clients in the door so you can pay rent. So we're going to be talking about two different things in today's video. One is the digital tools that I use. So these are the materials that I use every single day in order to create work. Two, I'm going to be talking about the subscription and applications that I'm a part of, so that way they make my workflow much easier and allow me to be able to do work with clients and get paid for it. First up, we're going to be talking about digital tools. Now, when I first started out as a lettering artist, I worked traditionally. So just a piece of paper, a couple pens and a pencil, and I was ready to get to it. But as I became more of a professional, I found the need that I needed to create a lot of content in a short amount of time. Because not only am I doing work for clients, but I also have passion projects that I want to do in order to help market myself. I want to put out vlogs and blogs. I need to have a social media marketing strategy. I need to be able to make a lot of lettering pieces in not that much time, so that way I can still have a social life. The first big digital tool that I need to talk about is Creative Cloud. Like most designers, we need to have a subscription so that way we can access programs like InDesign and Illustrator and Photoshop, so that way we can do creative work professionally. Now, some of you might be thinking that $50 in order to gain access to all these programs might seem a little steep, but you have to think of it like this. You don't have to use necessarily all these programs in order to get the job done. I think it's really important to figure out what's the best program for you and your workflow. And then if it turns out that you only need Photoshop, then that's just a $20 subscription versus a $50. My personal program of choice is definitely Photoshop. I get asked a lot, Dina, why don't you use Illustrator? Illustrator sucks. I like Photoshop because it keeps the integrity of the handmade more. I'm able to use Photoshop brushes that mimic traditional tools, and it looks like it was done by an actual person, where I feel like when I'm vectoring out things in Illustrator, it looks more like a robot did it, or it was made by a font. And I'm a lettering artist. I don't want people to think I'm making fonts. I'm making this shit from scratch. The second biggest tool that I use is something called AstroPad. This is an amazing program that allows me to actually screen share Photoshop to my iPad. So that way I can draw my iPad almost exactly like it was a Cintiq. Now, a lot of people ask me, well, what's better, a Cintiq or an iPad? Well, here's my answer. A Cintiq is about $1,600 for about a 20-inch screen and does one thing very well. On the other hand, an iPad Pro, the almost 20-inch size, is only $799 and is also a computer. Which one do you think I picked? This is how AstroPad makes me feel. By being able to use a program like AstroPad, I'm able to completely do my entire workflow digitally, which allows me to not only have those same gestures and strokes look like a person did them, but also I have the entire powerhouse of Photoshop. So that way I can easily change and skew and move any elements of my design that might be off balance. Now, in addition to my iPad Pro, I use a couple different accessories in order to just make drawing on a tablet a little bit easier. The first thing is called a Xylus. This is an actual case that I put on my Apple Pencil, so that way it just gives it a little bit more weight, and also it has a little clip on the end, so that way my pencil isn't constantly rolling off the table. Apple Pencil high! I also have this digital glove. Not only is it very stylish, but it also protects my hand from greasing up the screen of my iPad screen. So that way, not only is it less dirty, but also my hand, the actual touch of my hand, doesn't get in the way of my actual brush stroke with my pencil. This is really helpful. It's only a few dollars on Amazon. I highly recommend it. The last digital tool that I'm absolutely obsessed with is a pack of Photoshop brushes that mimic traditional tools, like pencils and markers and microns. So that way, the work that I'm bringing into Photoshop actually looks like I drew it on a piece of paper. Now, this is called the Hand Lettering Toolkit. It's brought to you by Retro Supply Co. This is a company that's actually run and owned by my good friend Dustin Lee, where you might have noticed that I was recently on his podcast called Passive Income for Designers. If you haven't listened to it yet, definitely check it out in the notes below. Now, the main reason I love these brushes is because they were made by a fellow lettering artist. Her name is Shauna Pinchezin, and you can tell that she put a ton of work in order to create this brush kit, especially for lettering artists, so that way we could have more of a traditional vibe in our digital work. All right, that's it for digital tools. Next up are the different apps and subscriptions that I pay for every single month, so that way I can just run my business a little bit easier. These apps all help me with productivity, so that way I can focus less on the things that aren't so fun to do, so I can do more actual drawing. The first tool, which you've probably all heard of by now, is Squarespace. Now, I actually moved from WordPress to Squarespace at the beginning of 2018 for a couple of different reasons. WordPress was great. You can do literally anything you want with WordPress, but there's a very, very high learning curve with that platform. And even though there's a plugin for pretty much any functionality you want to add to your website, that became a nuisance more so than it was actually helpful. Anytime there was an error in my website, I wasn't sure if it was a plugin, the actual theme that I was using, the hosting company, or WordPress.com themselves. It was infuriating. No bueno. Next up, we have an amazing all-in-one accounting, invoicing, proposals, tasks, freaking everything you could possibly need in one program, and that is called &Co. You can literally run your entire business from this one app, and the best fucking part is it's totally free. I just said totally free. So &Co is an all-in-one solution for all of your admin needs. So that means not only can you send invoices, you can also have your proposals and contracts with this program. You can go ahead and time your tasks to make sure that you're staying within the scope of your client projects. And the best fucking feature is their in and out accounting feature. Oh, this thing is amazing. So what it does is it automatically connects to your bank account and your PayPal. So that way, anytime you have money coming in, it registers it. And then if you have any expenses going out, it registers it. So that way you know exactly if you're doing well or doing poorly or you're just breaking even. Next up is Typeform. This is a form building app where you can actually create a landing page for your form. And there's a lot of really cool custom design and functionality with this. Not only can you go ahead and embed things like images into your actual questionnaires, but you can also have something called conditional logic. This is a must for any form. Hey, Tom, what kind of service are you interested in? And he puts personalized commission. Then boom, he only sees the questions for personalized commission. So that way I don't have to waste his time for him to answer questions that I don't actually need the answers to, and he's more likely to finish filling out my form. Next up is ShipStation. ShipStation is a great program, especially for illustrators and artists out there that want to fulfill and ship out their own custom products. Now, it's a fucking bitch to have to go to like USPS.com and manually put in addresses and names and tracking software on every single package you have to ship out. That is freaking bonkers. With ShipStation, it just automatically connects to your store, whether it's Etsy, Squarespace, WordPress, Shopify, anything really, and then it automatically pulls up all those different people's shipping information, and then all you have to do is hit print, and then it prints out all of your shipping labels at the same time. So something that used to take me 3 hours to ship and fulfill my own products now only takes about 20 minutes. Last but not least, we have Dropbox for Business. This is a great platform for you to not only be able to back up all of your files in case something incredibly horrible happens, but also it makes it really easy to share files with clients and for contributors and collaborators that you're working with. All right, so all together, with all that stuff, I typically spend about $250 a month in expenses for my business. Now, this pales in comparison to the $4,000 to $6,000 that I make a month as a freelance hand lettering artist. So guys, I don't expect everyone who's watching this video to be able to afford $250 a month in expenses, but only do what you can afford. So I hope all of you type lovers out there have really gained something special from this video, just being able to understand how to be able to work faster, smarter, and not harder as an illustrator. Just a quick update, I want to let you guys know that I have a brand new sticker out in my shop. It's called Type Nerd Alert! This is a 4x4 kiss cut sticker. So when you get it in the mail, you simply just peel it off from the background and then take the die cut from it. Then you reveal the really beautiful greened outline illustration. And you guys can go ahead and put this on sketchbooks, mirrors, laptops, all of your favorite things to show how proud you are to be a type nerd like me. I had a lot of fun creating this piece from scratch using all of the tools that I just talked about in this video, and then had my really good friend Simone come over to take amazing pictures of this thing with the perfect lighting. It's definitely the best product photography I've had in my career. I am so indebted to you, my friend Simone. Thank you so much. All right, that's a wrap of this video. I hope you guys got something from all these different kinds of tools and subscriptions and apps that I use to run a very successful illustration and lettering business here in Portland. If you guys have any questions about any of the things that I've talked about, please leave me a comment below. And as always, please consider subscribing. I want to be able to give you as much free content as possible so that way you can become a thriving artist. Thank you guys. I'll see you later. Bye.